The Canadian military now not just offering, but mandated to have, well, I guess they can't call them feminine hygiene products anymore, menstruation kits in public washrooms in all federal buildings, actually. We're talking about man-pawns. That's right. This is now part of the Labor Code of Canada. This is Code of Conduct in all federal buildings. A news release talking about as of December 15th, it is now Canadian law, Canadian Labor Code to ensure access to menstrual products at work starting December 15th. Yeah, that's right. All areas accessible to all people need to have these products in them. Well, what does this come down to? It comes down to the men's washroom. This is really, that's all this really is. They're pushing into the men's washroom with this stuff here. Now, this is an article from actually quite a while ago. This is from all the way back on May 10th when they made the announcement, and now it's actually coming into place. This is really funny. Free menstrual products will be available at federal workplaces later this year. That's right, ladies and gents. You can go in, well, gents, get on in there and get your menstrual hygiene products. Employees in federally regulated workspaces will begin to have free access to menstrual products later this year. The federal government made the announcement Wednesday saying that starting December 15th, 2023, employers will be required to make menstrual products available at no cost to public servants. You guys out in the private sector, you're gonna have to buy your own man-pawns out there. This means putting pads and tampons in washrooms or other places so that workers who need them while on the job have access. Employment and Social Development Canada said in a news release, tampons and pads are basic necessities, so we're making sure they're provided to workers at no cost because it'll make for healthier and safer workplaces, said Labor Minister Shameless O'Regan Jr. He said that in a statement. Now, what is this? The answer is no, putting this out on X. New post saying, has any politician in history talked more often and more passionately about tampons and pads than Shameless O'Regan? The answer is no. The answer is no. That's all they tweet about, is things where the answer would be no. Now, this face of Chrystia Freeland was making its rounds around the internet today because of a recent ad. I'm going to show you the ad later. But caption this. I put my own caption on this. That face men make when they try out the new free product line in federal building toilets. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You'd be making that face too, wouldn't you? Now, here's Michelle Ferreri. I'm sorry if I'm giggling through the whole thing. This is just silly to me. This is absolutely silly. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think it's silly as well. Here's Michelle Ferreri talking about just the wasteful spending. This is just adding to all the wasteful spending because these products are not going to be used. But anyway.
This is a federally regulated space. I'm a federally regulated employee. Now, I'm going to take you on a little tour today, and I'm going to show you something that I think is going to astound you. When we talk about wasteful spending and a cost of living crisis that is created because of wasteful spending, I'm going to tell you something. The average income of a Canadian is around $65,000. That's according to online sources that we have sourced.
Right.
The average income of a federally regulated employee is $70,000. Now, period
so they're
poverty
making
is
way
a
more
very
than
real thing. And
their
we have the
average
highest food
Canadian.
bank usage in history, meaning people who can't afford food also can't afford period products. So you will see many often period products in food banks, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
But what if I told you the Liberal NDP government is mandating that period products be available in all federally regulated workspaces? So for people who have an average income of $70,000, they are going to have access to period products. Shouldn't that be going to people who can't afford them? Dylan is from my office. Dylan, we're going to go into the men's bathroom here in a federally regulated building. You're going to give a little check for me, make sure there's no one in there.
Hello? No, we're good.
Okay, we're good. Come on in. So this
Going
is
in there.
The men's bathroom. And I want to show you what has been put in the bathrooms.
Oh boy.
That is period products for federally regulated employees. I can't stress enough to you how out of touch this is. in a cost of living crisis when people who can't afford to eat, they can't afford to buy these things. But again, the Liberal NDP government is prioritizing their own needs over the people who are most vulnerable and hurt by their policies that is driving up the cost of living.
Yeah.
This is not common sense. I hope you share this video. And you know what? I
I'm
might just
sharing it
take
right
a couple
now.
of these myself and walk them down to the Ottawa Food Bank where they would be best used, not here.
Absolutely. Send those down there. But this is actually upsetting people, obviously upsetting Michelle here while she's talking about just a frivolous spending that the Liberals, I mean, here we are, we're talking about people not having enough money to make ends meet, and they're throwing money around at these frivolous, I mean, how much are they spending extra on these things? You know, because when government buys something, they don't buy it at the same price that Canadians do. I've never seen Brian Lilley actually worked up this much about anything, and this is his statement.
This means that every female identified, male identified, and all gender toilet rooms will need to have menstrual products. Unrestricted access to menstrual products better protects menstruating employees and make sure that they feel safe to use the toilet room that best reflects their
It's all
gender.
about safety, right?
Menstruating employees, they don't even use the term women. Now, how many people who menstruate no longer identify as women? It's got to be a minuscule amount. But this is my ongoing issue with this. We are eliminating the word women. We are eliminating the language that identifies women as being distinct from men from our language, all because of an attempt to be politically correct when it comes to transgender issues. You can be respectful.
Look how restrained he is. He's trying to be nice. He's really trying to be nice, but this is just getting so ridiculous.
Of people who are transgendered. You can be respectful of what they are going through. You can not diminish them in any way, shape, or form without diminishing women. It doesn't have to do that. But what we are doing is diminishing women, menstruating employees, women or people who are pregnant, people who menstruate. These are terms that are now being used for words that we just used to say women.
That's right.
This is absolutely bonkers. But this is the focus of the Trudeau government. We've got food affordability crisis. We've got a housing affordability crisis. We've got immigration outpacing the ability to build new housing, driving up housing prices even higher. We've got a military that doesn't have what they need, but we've got to make sure
They got their
that
tampons.
they've got man-pons available.
Man-pons.
Does any of this make sense to you? Because it doesn't to me, and it doesn't to most Canadians, even the most progressive Canadians I know. But it is the priority of the Trudeau government.
That's the thing too, because there are so many people that are pretty progressive out there, and then they see this and go, what? Are you crazy? But this is the thing about the Trudeau government. They don't want to take responsibility for what it is that they're doing, and they want to just keep going with these pet projects instead of talking about the things that actually matter. Here's an example. This is actually an ad from the Liberal Party, and this is what they have to say here.
He'd rather spread falsehood about faraway foreign lands, Mr. Speaker.
The Conservative leader inadvertently
There was that
showed
face.
his true colors a moment ago. He couldn't bring himself to say the word Ukraine, so instead he dismissively called it a faraway land.
And then she goes and compares him to some other bad guy. Anyway, how do you know he was even talking about Ukraine? He could have been talking about Israel. There's a conflict going on over there too. But her main focus is on Ukraine. Ukraine first. Let's send all our money there while we're all poor over here. It's unbelievable that this is the government that we have. We are in a crisis. We are in several crises in Canada right now, and we need to focus on Canada. But this is the kind of thing, and this is the rhetoric of their fanboys. You see from their fanboys online, I talk about the carbon tax election that's coming up, and what do you see here? You have roughly half of households within this income category see a net gain of between $20 and $40 per month. About 4%, a net gain of $70 per month or more. This is talking about the kickback that they get. The other end of the spectrum is only about 55% of households with incomes above $250,000 receive more in rebates than they pay in costs, according to the data. Roughly half of the households in this income category see somewhere between a net loss of $20 per month and a net gain of $30 per month. about 5% see a net loss of $100 per month or more. See, here's the thing. It's talking about carbon tax, and this is the liberal talking points, and they actually believe this stuff, but they won't look outside of that paradigm. This is talking about people who are paying on home heating and gasoline. Home heating and gasoline, that's making an assumption on how much they actually spend on those two things. That's just a complete assumption, but then it forgets a main driver here. This ignores the rising cost of transportation and manufacture of all goods that this carbon tax will affect. These people will be buying these items. Costs are rising higher than $20 to $30 per month, and this is on top of the already high inflation and is directly caused by this tax. It is incredible how high the prices are going of goods, and then we're taxing them on top of that before it even gets to the consumer. You know that this is just going to get passed on to the consumer, and this is what our liberal government is doing. Tax, 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 and then when they can't tax you, they're going to mandate you to get some feminine hygiene products. Sorry, I can't say feminine anymore. Menstruating individual products and put it in the men's washroom. That's where we are, Canada. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what you think. This is absolutely ridiculous. And anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.